Myanmar has abundant energy resources, particularly hydropower and natural gas. However, the country's energy sector has been underdeveloped due to a lack of financial and technical capacity. At the same time, the demand for energy from the industry, commerce and residential sectors is on the rise after the country's opening in 2011. The Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministries of Electricity and Energy said, the electricity usage in Myanmar is the most from hydropower plants, and the ministry still figured out for more coal power plants to be built. He added that, according to the National Electricity Master Plan, it involves a matter on the proportions of constructing the coal plant in generation mix. On the other hand, assessment on the low impacts of environmental conservation have been carried out to construct the coal power plant in Myanmar with the agreements of the public in line with the international standard.
We are planning to consider only the communities and countries with most advanced technologies and technologies with least environmental impacts for hydro and coal power plants. As for coal power plant, we keep focus on the public interest. If we believe that the new technologies or clean technologies can execute for low environmental impacts, we'll attempt to do it as an energy reserve in the country's electricity supply.
In terms of energy intensity, Myanmar is still one of the least energy consumption countries compared with Malaysia, Indonesia and Thailand as well. The World Energy Outlook in 2015 forecasted Malaysia's energy demand to almost double between 2015 and 2040, with coal becoming the primary fuel in the country's energy mix. With the invitations of General Electric GE, Myanmar journalists team did a site visit together, visited one of the coal power plants in Malaysia, Manjung 4. It is a 1,000 megawatt ultra-supercritical coal-fired power plant, owned and operated by TMB Jenam in Malaysia. Coal power is the major energy source in Malaysia, but the managing director of TMB Jenam pointed out that the country have different sources for energy instead of heavily relying on a single source.
In Malaysia, we have a different energy mix. We have coal as mainly the major contributors to the energy for the country. We also have gas run by different power plants using gas turbine technologies. We do have a little bit of hydros, and we are seeing a lot more strong presence in terms of renewable energy. So we have a diversified energy mix in Malaysia to ensure that we are not heavily relying on single source of fuel. So this gives us a lot more stability in terms of managing the energy mix in our country.
He added that with the use of GE's ultra-supercritical technology, it could reduce carbon dioxide emissions by 4 to 5%. In addition, the significant benefits from reduced carbon dioxide emissions, the modern high-efficiency plant have significantly reduced emissions of nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and particulate matter.
We imported most of our coals from Indonesia. We burn it here. There are two types of technology, two types of plant we have here. One is actually subcritical, and another one is ultra supercritical. The subcritical plant, because it was an earlier technology, the efficiency can hit between 36 to 37%, whereas we see with the new technology, ultra supercritical boilers, the efficiency can go as high as 40%. So that efficiency will lead to a lot of cost saving in organization, less consumption of coal, less production emission of CO2. And this is all good for the community and the society.
He also pointed out that it needs to choose the best technology for the country when the projects affect on the environment and have social implications.
It's also very important that the project must comply to the all environmental impact assessment study that they're going to be carried out. And you can always inform the public and the community that that whatever we are doing, we are employing the best technology that will have very minimal impact to the environment and also to the community.
GE's executive product manager also expressed that it is important to provide affordable power supply in an environmentally friendly way.
Different countries will make different choices about what type of energy mix they need in order to provide affordable, secure electricity, power supply to their people. And we continue to think that there is a mix of energy sources that make sense for different countries. And we continue to think that for many of these countries, coal continues to make sense. Coal can be done in a more environmentally friendly, respective way.
Currently in Myanmar, 27 hydropower plants, 15 thermal power plants, and 1 coal power plant have been supplying the electricity to the whole country through the national grid. A coal power plant in Myanmar, which produces 2,017 megawatt-hour daily, is situated in Pilong of Shan State. Besides, the government plans to construct the hydropower plant, solar power plant, and LNG power plant to fulfill their target capacity for 4,531 megawatt in 2020 to 21 fiscal years. In worldwide, the coal power generation has taken an old technologies and increased efficiency and reduced emissions using clean coal technologies in modern coal power plants. The neighboring countries make up for investing in the electricity, which supplemented their economic growth while allowing affordable energy for economic development and providing reduction. Myanmar would realize that if the country wants to reach target capacity, the endeavor should be made for using clean technologies for the coal-fired power plant in the country.